recent article in the Atlantic Monthly posed an intriguing question. Can parents actually make their kids unhappy by being too concerned about their happiness? New Day audience coordinator Susie Wiley, a mother of 3, is here. Evening Magazine's Kim Holcomb, a mother of 2, also here for another round of Parent Chat, which we are calling Parent Chat because we actually have a dad today to join our conversation. Woo-hoo! Like the Marines, a few good men. Our good friend Steve Haverly from the Today Show's Guys Tell All panel is helping us weigh in on whether we're supporting our kids or we might just be overdoing it. So this is the article, How to Land Your Kid in Therapy, which was pretty intimidating. And this is a profound and long article, many pages, but a really smart, interesting article, I thought. What did you guys think?
Absolutely, and I think it flies in the face of what so many of us have thought was the way to do things, the talking through everything with your child and making sure that they understand. And this article kind of goes the opposite direction, saying sometimes kids just need you to be straight with them, not give them so many choices in life. Tell them, we are the parent, this is what you need to be doing.
Now, your son is 11, right?
Right.
You've got 2 kids in college and 1 in high school. I've got an 18-year-old. I read these things and I kind of go, oh, shoot, guilty, bad, it's too late, oh, no. Did you recognize yourself at all in there?
I did recognize myself, the mistakes I've made, but also I agree. I don't think we let our children fail. And I think it's when they fail that they actually learn that they can cope. And I've been the mom that runs out to the playground, but I actually learned from other moms to sit back a little bit and let them recover. And I think I've learned that now, but in the beginning I was a complete mess. Like every time they fell, I was there.
It makes sense on paper,
right.
you know, but when your kid's hurting, you kind of, the temptation is to grab and help.
My goal has always just been to pay attention. Just be a sponge and take in what's going on. Just pay attention to your kid, but you don't have to micromanage them. I know I don't like to be micromanaged, and children, if you try to micromanage them and you tell them what to do every single step of the way, they tune you out and they don't listen to you. I pick my battles. I wait for something really, worth it for me to weigh in on, and then I go in. Right. I know that I'll tune it out, and I don't want to be tuned out. I want my son to pay attention to what I have to say.
Well, one of the interesting things in the article, and they actually had social data about this, were kids who had too many choices. Kids who were given 24 colors of marker to choose from, or kids who were just given 3. And they found out the kids who were just given 3 did better drawings, felt more confident, wanted to keep the original choices that they made, and the kids who were given 24 were like freaked out by all the choices, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So how do we give choices without making our kid think they're in charge of the world?
Well, I know that I kind of laid the groundwork early on with my son. I didn't give him all those choices. It wasn't really up to him. It was, here's what we're going to do, and if he said why, I said, I'm the dad.
Yeah.
Because it's up to me and you're 4.
Because I said so.
Right. If you lay that groundwork early, I think you can get them out of the, well, I want to do this and I want to do this. And like the article said, it gave all these choices, and then the parent said, yeah, we can have ice cream today, after saying no. Stick to your guns. Stick to the rules that you laid down.
And don't let them out of their choices.
Yeah, budging is the worst thing. And that's true. Don't let them out of their choices. If they make a choice, then they have to see it through. That's been a challenge for me, because when my son, he's only 5, but when he gets frustrated with something, I want to go help and make it better. But that is the worst thing, because he's got to just figure it out. And then when he does, it's like a light bulb goes off, and his confidence is exponentially higher. And I didn't have to do a thing other than just say, no, you got to finish that.
I think we don't let them they can't get to happy on their own. And I've seen this with my own kids. When they can't fail, when I'm always fixing everything that happens to them, then they can't get to happy. And I noticed with my daughter, she lost spectacularly in an ASB election. Well, she lost by 5 votes, but in her senior year. And it's what she wanted to do. It's the only thing in her life that she wanted to do. And she was counting on that. And then to lose by 5 votes changed the game. And it was a hard moment for me, but a good one, because I couldn't help her at all. There was nothing I could do to get her to happy. And it took about 2 weeks, the worst 2 weeks of our life in our house. But she got to happy. She figured out what she needed to do. Okay, I'm still a valid person. I can still give input and have a role to play, but she got there herself, and it was actually fascinating to watch, and has really kind of set her up, I think, for life.
That's a really good example, and sometimes it has to be out of our hands. It's one of the things I loved about sports. My son played baseball. Right. He was a pitcher, and he's right in the middle. You know, you succeed or fail in front of everyone. You have to live with that, which made me sick to my stomach every single game.
You can't run out.
You can't run out.
Well, you
really
could,
frowned
but then people will talk.
if you do that.
Yeah.
That would be embarrassing, even more than usual. So, I mean, is there some usefulness to sports debate, that kind of thing, where they're going to fail or succeed, and you really can't do anything about it?
I live in this one right now because I coach my son's team, his baseball team, and the kids are out there and they're at an awkward age and they're striking out a lot. And as a coach, you don't say, oh, it really sucked. Why didn't you?
That's actually not helpful.
Yeah, it doesn't do any good. You want to, but I don't want to high five them either.
Right.
So I'll say, hey, way to attack the ball. Good job. You find a silver lining and you find a positive, and you just get it to them right away, and teach them to get over it and move forward.
That brings up another point that was in the article, which was about the great job, not necessarily in that situation, but are we congratulating our kids too much? Too many medals for participating, for showing up. You know, that they kind of think, and we'll have games where there's no competition, there's no winner or loser. And then they go out into life, and, you know, oddly enough, your boss is really not that worried about whether you want ice cream or not, and so you weren't prepared for it.
I still am trying to grapple with that. I want my ice cream, boss. Give it to me, just for doing nothing. No, I think that's
just
absolutely...
for being here and being you, Kim.
Here. Yeah. No, I think that's absolutely true, and I think that has been, this movement in parenting has been to, we have to make sure our kids have self-confidence. And I think that what this article is saying is, absolutely we need to make sure our kids have self-confidence, but maybe we're doing it the wrong way. Maybe by rewarding nothing all of the time, you're building false confidence, which is even worse, because then the first time that they do fail, if they're 21 and don't get a job they wanted, that's their life now. They need to make money. They need, because you want them out of your house, they need to be able to do it on their own.
And we can't say, good job,
no.
I'm sure you did your best at the interview. You know, we can't keep saying that. And I also think that I'm going to blame texting a little bit, if I can, for the happiness problem.
Oh, good. You can blame texting. That's great.
I think we respond sometimes too much. You know, my daughter will text me that, you know, I'm so mad at so-and-so, I want to come home or something, and then I'll feel like I need to respond, because if I don't respond, I'm the bad mother who's ignoring her text. You know, and what do I say to that? She needs to get through that herself, yet I think we often respond when we maybe need to sit back. I know I do. I need to just let her absorb it. And figure out how to get there.
The article was also, I thought, really good in pointing out that self-esteem is not what makes people happy in life. You need to have some, but you don't go around thinking you're the best person in the world, or you make others unhappy, you make yourself unhappy. That emotional intelligence and the ability to work hard and problem solve is really what's important, but how we get there is very interesting. I'm just so glad this material is out, because I'm not really sure our parents and grandparents had these kinds of tools to help us think through the issues.
No Facebook.
No Facebook.
I'm not sure they needed them, though. We're okay.
Well, my dad was of the because I said so school. That didn't take a whole lot of thought.
No.
It was pretty effective. Thank you guys for being here.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. There's still time for you to weigh in on today's Parent Chat topic. New Day wants to know, in what ways have you overindulged your children? Get a hold of us on our Facebook page via Twitter, or email us at newday@king5.com. And while you're at it, feel free to leave us some ideas for future Parent Chat topics. We'll read your responses at the end of the show. And by the way, we're going to post a link to the article. Really, you should read this. It's super thought-provoking. Up next, there's a nationwide social experiment to determine the most honest cities in the country. We'll find out the results for Seattle right after the break. Honestly. We'll be back.